Say hello. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, Carrie. Hey guys. Make sure you subscribe to my mom's channel. Give it a thumbs up. See you later. I'm gonna cringe so hard at that when I watch it back. Watch it, please. Alright, well, Tika did the intro for me, but welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. My name is Melissa. Today we are doing the third and final portion of my Q&A mini-series that I was doing. The first Q&A was all the relationship and dating, second was money and career, and now this is going to be like personal, miscellaneous, all of that. All of these questions were submitted by you guys on my Instagram. Let's get to it. I have not read through them, so we're just gonna go with it. The most common question that I got overall was, how are you doing? Thanks for asking. I'm doing really good. I would give myself like an 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10 currently. For the past 2 weeks, I've been feeling pretty tired, but I don't really feel like I got hit with seasonal depression this year, which I'm very grateful for. Normally I get like very sad in the winters. And I think, I mean, unless it just hasn't hit me yet, but so far I've just been feeling like a little bit tired, but mood overall is good, life is good, like I don't have anything to complain about. Next question. What are your sun, moon, and rising signs? I am an Aries sun, Aquarius moon, Capricorn rising. Let me know if any of you guys are the same. What are your plans for New Year's? We are going to Las Vegas. I'm going with Carla and Mila. The flight from Vancouver to Vegas is like 2.5 hours, so it's really easy. And Vancouver does not have any nightlife. Nothing really happens in Vancouver, so we do tend to go to Las Vegas a lot for like going out. And I love an excuse to dress up and go out. So I'm very excited for that. I'm hoping nothing squashes our plans because I've been hearing like travel bans, but I think like we already have everything booked. I don't think they can stop you. I think it's just more like, I don't know, let's not get into that. Vegas for New Year's, very excited. Would you ever get Tika a sibling? So Tika has had siblings. Honestly, she doesn't really care too much about other dogs. I feel like she likes people more and she's obsessed with me. Sometimes I think she gets bored of being with just me, but when she has had siblings in the past, like her and Darla got along really well. They mainly, like once they were comfortable with each other, they kind of just like did their own things. Personally, I don't like having more than one dog to myself. I just feel outnumbered. And if I had them both off leash and like one went one way and the other, like I just feel like I can't fully control the situation. So I like having one dog to myself. If I was living with someone else or had a partner, like maybe we would get a second dog, but yeah, for just me, I'm good with one dog. Next question is, what type of extensions do you have? For the past year, I've had Emmy strands, which are like just like the little beads, and I really liked those. But this last time, I went to my friend Zoe at Salon Montage, if any of you guys are in like the South Surrey area, and she did, actually, I don't think you're gonna be able to see this at all, or maybe you can, but anyways, I have a sewn in weft, but essentially they're still attached to beads. So I have like a row of beads and then she sews the weft on to the beads. So beaded weft, I think is what it's called. So that is the kind. I have 3 rows of hair. I haven't had these in for very long, so I can't fully decide like which kind I like better, but I've also had tapes before and I don't think I would go back to tapes. Just taking them out is so messy. And I feel like the tapes probably damage your hair a little bit. I don't find that these damage your hair at all, as long as you take care of them. Oh, Tika, there's a bunch of questions about you. Somebody asked, what made you decide to get Tika? Growing up, my family always had pets. We had a ton of cats growing up. My sister had a few dogs. I never had a dog that was mine. I had fish, rabbits, a rabbit, birds. Oh, I used to have lovebirds. They were so good. So cute. So they poo everywhere. I just always grew up with pets, and then I hadn't had a pet for myself in like a long time. I was living with my cousin at the time. She was fine with me getting a dog. Who doesn't love dogs? Well, some people don't, but I wanted a pet. I really wanted a mini Aussie. So I looked at shelters for like over a year and there's literally never Aussies in the shelter. So she's from the States actually. I had to go to the States to get her. I love her, she's the best dog ever. How would you describe yourself and your character? I really do not enjoy talking about myself, which might sound weird because it's literally what I do on this channel, but if I'm with other people, I like to ask questions and I like hearing people talk about themselves versus me talking about myself to them. I'm pretty independent. I think my personality is quite chill for the most part. I can also be a little spicy at times, but like overall I'm quite chill. I'm very curious, like I love to ask questions, like try to understand things. I would like to think I can be funny at times. I think I have a good sense of humor and I'm not easily offended. I'm pretty open-minded. How do you keep yourself motivated to stay in a routine? Tika, you gotta take this somewhere else, girl. Oops. You have to be pretty disciplined when you work for yourself and you work from home, because there's nothing that I really need to get up for. Like I could just stay in bed all day and like literally do nothing if I wanted, but obviously that's a terrible use of my time. So I have set like a sleeping routine for myself. Like I get up at 7:30 most days. I'm generally in bed before 10. I really prioritize my sleep, but this is getting off topic, sort of. How do you stay motivated? But I guess the answer would be that I am not always motivated. I wish that I was, but I don't think anyone is always motivated. You kind of just have to choose to do these things even when you don't want to. But yeah, I'm definitely not always motivated, but I try to stick to like somewhat of a schedule and routine at home. How are you so chill? I get stressed by the smallest things. I think I used to get a lot more stressed out. You should have seen me when I was in like middle high school. I hate being late for things, and going to school in the morning, like every single morning I was like yelling at everyone, being like, we're gonna be late. Like I hated, like I never wanted to be late for school, and if we were ever late, it was never my fault. Like that stressed me out so much. And just like little things like that, I think like as I've gotten older, I've just realized that stressing does not help. If anything, it just makes the situation worse. There are certain things that are out of your control. You just have to go with the flow. Like I don't even know, I'm trying to think of like tangible tips. Like it's just something that over time I've just let go of, and I truly don't really get stressed out about things anymore. Like occasionally, but my stress levels are so much lower than they used to be. I just made a conscious decision not to be stressed, which I know when you are stressed, that is not what you want to hear. Anytime you're stressed, just like check in with yourself and be like, is this a situation I can actually control? Why do I feel this way? Take a few deep breaths. It's not always that easy, but I think when you do that over time, it gets easier. Hopefully that helps. How do you like school so far? If any of you are new, I'm currently in holistic nutrition school and I really like it, but I'm currently in like the courses that I'm doing right now are very scientific, and that's like it's good knowledge to have, but like, I'm a good reader when I'm interested in what I'm reading, but right now the stuff that I'm reading doesn't really stick. But overall, I'm liking school. I'm just like the courses right now are too scientific for my liking. But anyways, overall good. How to stay on track over the holidays. I think you gotta cut yourself some slack over the holidays. Try to stay in the moment and just like enjoy your time off. Like enjoy the food, enjoy time with people. I think it's important to have structure throughout your everyday life, but it's also really important to take time off and just enjoy yourself. For me, if I know that I'm going to be taking some time off, like to be honest, I haven't really thought about like Christmas and stuff, but I am thinking about like New Year's, even though like the trip is really short. But anyways, I know that I'm going to be like, my sleep schedule is not gonna be great. I'm gonna be drinking, gonna be eating food, and just like, I'm just gonna be in the moment and enjoy myself. So since I know that's coming up, I like to be, I don't wanna say stricter, but I'm more dedicated to my daily routines, like leading up to it, and then I don't feel as bad. But if staying on track over the holidays makes you happy, I think it just depends like what brings you more joy, staying on track or enjoying yourself, I guess. Just do what feels right for you. Do you smoke weed? I don't think I've ever really talked about weed on my channel. It was like illegal for the longest time, but it's legal now where I live. I have smoked weed and I probably will smoke weed again, but I wouldn't say that I smoke weed. Most of the time it just makes me fall asleep. Like it makes me so tired. On occasion, it'll make me like laugh so hard and I love that, but I just never know how it's gonna affect me. I don't know, it's never something that I get for myself. It's more like if somebody else has it, like sometimes I'll partake, but in social settings, it's not usually good for me because I'll just want to pass out. Oh, and then someone else asked, you ever indulge in Mary Jane? So there we go. Why don't you hang out with cousin Steve anymore? Back in the day, I lived with Jenny and Steven and we would hang out every day because we lived together, and during that time they were always in the vlogs, so you guys got to know them quite well. It's not like we don't talk or never see each other, but we've just like all moved into like different phases of life, doing our own thing in different places. Cousin Steve is actually moving to Greece for a year, so well, I was gonna say won't see him, but I'm actually gonna be in Greece next year too, so maybe we will see him. But anyways, yeah, we're all just like kind of doing our own thing. Biggest tip for being happy and carefree with life. This is something that I'm still working on, and again, it just goes back to mindset, and just saying mindset is not helpful. I wish I could think of like some really good tips that are actually helpful. I think the most important thing is to do what you want to do and not do things based on what other people want you to do. Everyone is so unique and has their own purpose and life path and interest. Like everyone is so different, and you need to figure out what it is that you like, what you want, or else you're not going to be happy if you're just doing things based on what you think you should be doing or what other people tell you to do. So I think that's definitely like the biggest thing. I think a lot of people like are stuck in a career they don't like, or a relationship that's not really working. I mean, relationships and career are not like the end all be all. Like they're not what are going to bring you internal happiness. But I think if you're in certain situations that aren't bringing you joy, like remove yourself from them and find things that work for you. Meditating, journaling, taking care of your mental health, breath work is super helpful for some people. If you haven't tried that, look into it. And yeah, like it all goes back to mindset, but there's obviously like a lot of things you can do to help with your mindset. I feel like I could do a whole video on that, but I would really need to like think about it and like plan it out properly. But hopefully those kind of help. Making peace with the past. I feel like this kind of like ties in with the last question. I think it's just important to remember like the past is the past. You can't go back and change things. Everything happens for a reason. As cliche as it sounds, it's very true. Even though like nobody wants to go through tough times or have bad things happen to them, but it builds character, and it's honestly like I am so happy, not happy, I am very grateful for like all the bad things that have happened to me, because it's made me a much stronger person. If you grew up just having like the easiest life, like I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you'd just be like more boring. I mean, I don't exactly know like what your past is, like exactly what you're referring to, but also if somebody else did something to you, like you can't always expect someone to apologize or make it right. Holding on to like grudges isn't the right word, but I think the biggest thing, just forgive people, because it helps yourself more than them. Most of the time, if someone does something bad to you, it's more a reflection on themselves, and they have their own shit they need to work through. So you kind of just have to let that go. You know, just like forgive and move on. But again, like I don't exactly know what you're talking about, so maybe I should stop talking. What's the best and worst thing that happened to you this year? I think the best and worst thing is the same thing, which is my breakup. It obviously sucked, but I feel like it was the right decision, and I think we will both be happier and be able to like live out our better lives separately. So yeah, that's probably the best and worst thing. How do you stay so confident? You inspire me every day with your attitude. First of all, thank you, that is so nice. I would not say that I'm always confident. That's actually something that I feel like I struggle with. Self-love is really important, and I feel very comfortable with myself and I feel confident with myself, but it's as soon as I am around other people is when I start doubting myself. And so that's something that I am trying to work through. But honestly, like if I'm not feeling confident, there's that TikTok, fake it till you make it. Like you kind of just have to show up and do your best and fake it till you make it. How to deal with negative family members. You don't have to be close with your family members, and I feel like it's a societal, is that a word? I feel like society makes you feel like you need to be close with your family. Sometimes it's better for you to not be close with family members, and that's okay. Like I think you really need to put yourself first, and if somebody is impacting your life negatively, I mean, I'm not just saying like don't put any effort into working it out. I feel like some of these questions could be a video on their own, and I'm kind of nervous to just like somewhat answer it because I feel like it can be kind of twisted. But yeah, love them from afar, I suppose, is what I'll say, is in like a very short answer. Top 5 book recommendations. I should like pull up my Goodreads account because I can never like fully remember, but I love Colleen Hoover books if you're into romance. Her books are the best. Also, I'll have my Goodreads account linked down below, because then you can see like the books that I've read and like my reviews on them. Melissa's favorite books. Verity by Colleen Hoover is really good. Some of her books are like quite mushy and cheesy, like they're super romance, but this one is a little bit more, I guess like a little bit thriller. It's a little bit darker, but still a romance, so that one's really good because I also like mystery and crime type novels, so that one's kind of a nice mix. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder was really good. Those are like for fiction. I'm trying to think of like non-fiction books. The Sun Does Shine was a good one for non-fiction if you haven't read that. It's about a man that was on death row for most of his life. Oh, okay, there's this one book that I feel like might be kind of a weird, like it's kind of hard to read, but it's so good and not at the same time. It's called The Nature of Personal Reality. I'm also currently reading The Power of Now and Waking the Tiger, Healing Trauma, and Confess by Colleen Hoover. But yeah, The Nature of Personal Reality is very interesting. It's like this lady that, how do I even explain this book? I feel like you would either really get into it or you would hate it. But this lady, Jane Roberts, she goes into like a trance and she's like this other character named Seth, and then she writes as Seth, or her husband writes for her while she's like in this trance. Probably not for everyone, but there's like some really good, I've like highlighted a lot of things in that book, but some of it I have to like skip over. But anyways, if you're like super spiritual, you might like that. I don't know if that'd be like my top 5, but anyways, those are just some book ideas. Your go-to shoes. I'll actually show you my go-to shoes. These are so dirty. These are all the shoes that I keep at my door because they're the ones that I wear all the time. A classic Adidas slides. If I'm just going to check the mail, take Tika out really quickly. Like these are just like a really easy slide on for like an outdoor shoe. These are my current gym shoes. I don't remember what this style is called, but they are Adidas. These are my Blundstones. I've had them for quite a few years. I've worn the shit out of them. Anytime I know I'm gonna be walking somewhere where it's muddy, which is like currently most of Vancouver, but it's good for like hikes or dog walking, just like everyday life when it is muddy out. These are the Converse All-Star Chuck Taylors. I haven't worn these a ton because they are newer, but I really like them and they kind of go with most things. I just got myself a new pair of the mini Uggs. If I'm like walking Tika and it's not muddy out, I'll wear these. But these are just like such a good like slip-on shoe. These might be my most worn. I just love a good white sneaker. This is like my everyday white sneaker. They're by Puma. Again, I have no idea what the style is. Like, where does it say? Yeah, I have no idea. But anyways, those are like my go-to white sneakers. So those are my current go-to shoes. This video is turning out to be a lot longer than I expected. Somebody asked what vitamins are you taking? A lot of people were asking for a PCOS update. I think I need to do a completely separate video on that. I was originally planning on including that in this video, but I didn't realize how many questions there were. So that's gonna be a separate video. I guess there's gonna be like a Q&A part 4, or I'll just do like a hormone update video. Any interest in kids? I've never wanted kids. I always thought it was something I would want when I got older. I still think that maybe I'll change my mind. Like if I'm in a relationship with someone who wants kids, maybe then, but like currently I would say no. I just always thought my mind would change and so far it hasn't. Do you like your hair better blonde or brunette? Also, my fan just went on, so if you can hear that. I really want to go back blonde eventually, but going dark has been so good for my hair texture and just like my overall hair health. My hair is finally starting to grow and get thicker on the ends. I'm definitely going to keep it dark for a while. This is a demi-permanent color, so eventually this will fade back into my natural hair color. So I do want to let this fade out, and then maybe I'll do like balayage highlights in the summer. I don't necessarily like one more than the other. It's just fun to switch it up. Least favorite thing about having your life online. Every once in a while, I wish I could just delete everything and have nobody know who I am and just like live a very private life. Not that like a ton of people know who I am, but my least favorite thing would just be people judging your life when like they think they know you, but they don't really. And yeah, just that mainly. Favorite wine. I'm currently really into red wine. Oh, I had one in Barcelona that was so good, amazing. I was a little tipsy before I had it, so I don't know if it was actually that good, but then I looked it up on this wine app. I'll put a picture of it because I can't remember what it's called, but it was so delicious. I'm trying to find it in Canada because I want to try it again and see if I actually love it that much. Hang on, I need to change my battery. I'm not very good at remembering wines. Like when I drink a good wine, whoa, I need to write it down. Because when I go to the wine store, I'm always like, what do I want? And I know there's certain ones that I like, but I always forget. But I also really like finding organic wines. I think I missed a couple in there, but that is most of them, so I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. I'm sure I'll do another Q&A in the future, but these were fun to do. I hope you guys liked them. Thank you so much for watching. This was Vlogmas Day 18, I believe. Holy crap. I only have a week left of vlogs, and then Vlogmas is over. I'm sad and happy about it, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.